Hi, my name is Adegoke Motala. I am a leadership coach and a speaker and trainer on the John Maxwell team. You're welcome to my podcast, Leadership Talk with Adegoke. I'm going to be talking about leadership and listening. Leadership and listening on today's podcast. I'd like you to follow me on this platform by subscribing to my podcast so that you can get weekly episodes on your platform. One of the challenges of leadership is that you can lead without having a lot of committed followers, and you can lead without generating the kind of momentum that is required. This happens as a result of lack of listening. Leaders usually get to a point that they feel that they have all the experience and their followers are just there to be numbers. You can't lead effectively without listening. And some of the ways that you can listen is by listening intentionally. You can listen deliberately. And you can listen with the mind of having to get feedback so that you can improve on your leadership and can add more value. But a situation where you lead, and even when you listen, it's not with the intention of implementing, it's not with the intention of executing, it's not with the intention of improving, then it creates a crisis. So how can leaders lead and listen effectively? Number one, when you begin to show respect, even for your subordinates, or your contemporaries, or for your peers. When you listen, it shows that you respect. When you listen, it shows that you're willing to improve. When you listen, it shows that you're willing to learn. If you don't listen, then you're not likely to become a great leader. Some leaders even become mentees. They become mentees, to their followers. They take them out for lunch with the purpose of listening to their subordinates, and they take notes. It shows that they respect their subordinates. And so when you show respect, respect begets respect. But if you don't respect your subordinates, you will not be able to listen to them. So listening must have the element of respect. And listening also shows that you're willing to build relationships. Listening shows that you're willing to build relationships. If you're someone who is willing to lead, then relationships must be at the heart of your leadership. If you don't listen, you're not likely to get quality relationships. You're likely to get people that are just there to be what you call yes men. They just listen to you, they just show up, and they don't want to say anything. So you must extract feedback intentionally. And when you listen to your peers, to your subordinates, there is that element of respect. There also is the element of relationship. You build more relationships long term, because your relationships is what brings value to you. The more credible relationships that you have, the more valuable you become as a leader. If a leader is not able to build long-term relationships, then the leader plateaus. And you don't want to plateau in your leadership. So it's important that you listen. Not just listen, but you listen by showing respect. Also, you listen by building relationships. What does listening do for a leader as well? Listening also helps a leader in the area of increasing in knowledge. When you listen, you get more knowledge. When you listen, you get more traction, you gain more traction. Because you can never lead effectively with just your own knowledge. You need the knowledge of others. And when you get other people's knowledge, you're able to do more, you're able to achieve more. And it's also a strategy for empowering others. When people feel empowered, then they trust you more. Then your knowledge that has increased will show. It will show in everything that you do, because you have gained more knowledge from your subordinates, you have gained more knowledge from your contemporaries, and the knowledge that you gain, you bring it to bear on the organization positively through the listening. So listening is a win-win for a leader. And when you listen, the fourth thing that happens, I said the first thing that happens is when you're a listening leader, is that you're able to show respect to your subordinates. It's also an indication that when you listen, you're able to build relationships. Thirdly, you become a person of knowledge. And fourthly, your listening helps you to generate ideas. You're able to come up with so many ideas. Able to come up with so many wonderful ideas. And John C. Maxwell will say, momentum is the leader's best friend. When you listen, and it helps you to come up with powerful ideas even when other leaders are overwhelmed. Alright, so listening is key for a leader. Listening is key for a leader. The fifth point is that listening helps to build loyalty. Helps to build loyalty. How effective are you? Are you only effective when you're grounded as a leader? Or even when you are out of circulation? Your people are still getting the job done. How does listening build loyalty? Your people know, your followers, they know that whenever they bring ideas to you, you're willing to listen, and not just listen, but you're also willing to implement. So they already have that mindset that they have a leader whom they can always show up and give their best to, because they know that when the leader returns, when he's back on the scene, he will validate them. And so the loyalty, the level of loyalty increases for a leader who is able to listen. For me, I've been under so many leaders. I've been under leaders that have listened. I've been under leaders that struggle to listen. And I've been under leaders that refuse to listen. And I've learned my lesson. It's always good to listen. And one of the ways that I show that I'm listening is when I'm in, having conversations with my peers, even with my direct reports. I say to them, what do you think? How do you think we should do this? What are your thoughts? And I begin to generate ideas. I begin to gain more knowledge. I should also show respect to them. also build relationships. And what do you think allows me to get the buying of others? And not just to say what do you think, I am also willing to implement the ideas of others. I'm also willing to implement the ideas of others. If you as a leader, you are not able to listen, then it becomes a major challenge to gain loyalty. It becomes a major challenge to gain loyalty. So we've looked at what listening does, the area of respect. Your people respect you. You're able to build relationships. You're able to gain more knowledge, gain more ideas, build loyalty. And the sixth point, before the final point, is that others are willing to confide in you. You earn their trust. When you listen to others, you earn their trust. So the question is, are you earning the trust of your followers? Are you earning the trust of your peers? If you're not, or if you are, keep listening. But if you're not, begin to listen. Because when you listen, even things that you do not even seek to know, you will learn. You will know. Because people will begin to confide in you. People are looking for listeners. People are looking for listeners. So are you a listener? Then if you're a listener, you will make an impactful and a great leader. Finally, listening for a leader helps a leader to communicate properly. The best orators, the greatest orators, whether it's Obama, whether it's Martin Luther King, whether it's Joe Biden, even in Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, in different nations of the world, great listeners are great communicators. Great communicators are great leaders. Why do they communicate well? Because they're able to communicate well because they're able to relate with people. They show respect. They gain ideas. They gain knowledge. People confide in them. And they're able to communicate well. So if you are listening to this podcast, if you want to become a great leader, become a great listener. When you're a great listener, you make more impact. You become a person of value. You become an asset. Wherever you are, people want to gather around you. They want to celebrate you. Leaders must listen. When leaders listen, they go very far. If you want to go fast, you can go on your own. If you want to go far, move with others. Life without listening is a life that will be filled with challenges. The scripture says, the Holy Book says, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Are you listening intentionally? Are you listening deliberately? Are you listening to implement? If you are listening to this podcast, I want you to begin to recalibrate. When you listen more, you do more. When you listen more, you lead more. When you listen more, you make more impact. When you listen more, you build more followers. When you listen more, you leave a legacy. So listen more, listen intentionally, listen deliberately, listen to generate momentum. And you begin to see changes. In everything that you do, great changes. You've been listening to Leadership Talk, this podcast, Leadership Talk with Adegoke. I've been speaking on leadership and listening. So I'd like you to rate this podcast. And so till the next time we hear from me, next series. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day.